कुंज बिहारी यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रजजन रंजन जमुना तीरा बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय पंचतत्व पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय प्रहलाद नृसिंह जय अनंत देव प्रहलाद नृसिंह जय अनंत देव जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव सुभद्रा माई जय सुदर्शन जय राधा माधव अष्ट सखी गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर सत हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहिए जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्यामकुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन जी महाराज की ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा मैया की जमुना माई की तुलसी महारानी की भक्ति देवी की समवेत भक्त वृंद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की इस्कॉन मायापुर भक्त वृंद की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam daivim saraswati vyasam ततो जयो मुदीरयेत नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नष्ट की. So we will be reciting today and later on reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, Chapter 1, verse number 35 and verse number 36. Kindly repeat after me. Apisvid anye cha nijātma-daivam ananya-vṛttyā samanuvratāye hṛdīka-satyātmaja-cārudeṣṇa gadādayaḥ svasti caranti saumya apisvid anye cha nijātma-daivam ananya-vṛttyā samanuvratāye hṛdīka-satyātmaja-cārudeṣṇa gadādayaḥ svasti caranti saumya apisvid anye cha nijātma-daivam ananya-vṛttyā samanuvratāye hṛdīka-satyātmaja-cārudeṣṇa gadādayaḥ svasti caranti saumya. Kindly repeat. Oh, you don't see it there? Okay, no problem. 35 and 36. It's only 36 mentioned there, Prabhu. Yeah, because 35 has a very small, no purport actually. Yes, you can only chant that. No. We will read the transliteration of 35 and then translation and then so. Api, as also. Svata, whether. Anye, others. Cha, and nija-ātma, of one's own self. Daivam, Śrī Kṛṣṇa, ananya, absolutely. Vṛttyā, faith. Samanuvratā, followers. Ye, all those who. Hṛdīka-satyātmaja, the son of Satyabhāmā. Cārudeṣṇa, Gada, ādayaḥ, and others. Svasti, all well. Caranti, pastime. Saumya, O sober one. Translation as given by Srila Prabhupada ki. O sober one, you can repeat after me. O sober one, others such as hṛdīka-Carudeṣṇa, Gada, and the son of Satyabhāmā, who accept Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa as the soul of the self and thus follow his path without deviation. Are they well? And now the text number 36. Api sva-dorbhyāṁ vijayācyutābhyāṁ dharmeṇa dharmaḥ paripāti setum duryodhano attapyat yat-sabhāyāṁ samrajya-lakṣmya vijayānuvritya apisvad-dorbhyāṁ vijayācyutābhyāṁ dharmeṇa dharmaḥ paripāti setum duryodhano attapyat yat-sabhāyāṁ samrajya-lakṣmya vijayānuvritya apisvad-dorbhyāṁ vijayācyutābhyāṁ dharmeṇa dharmaḥ paripati setuma duryodhano atapyat yat-sabhāyāṁ samrajya-lakshmya vijayānuvṛttyā. Those of you who wish to recite can kindly do so. Apisvid vijayācyutābhyāṁ dharmeṇa dharmaḥ paripāti setum duryodhano atapyat yat-sabhāyāṁ samrajya-lakshmya vijayānuvṛttyā. Apisvid vijayācyutābhyāṁ dharmeṇa dharmaḥ paripāti setum duryodhano atapyat yat-sabhāyāṁ samrajya-lakshmya vijayānuvṛttyā. Vaishnavis. Apisvid vijayācyutābhyāṁ dharmeṇa dharmaḥ paripāti setum duryodhano atapyat yat-sabhāyāṁ samrajya-lakshmya vijayānuvṛttyā. Vijayācyutābhyāṁ dharmeṇa dharmaḥ paripāti setum duryodhano atapyat yat-sabhāyāṁ samrajya-lakshmya vijayān. One male devotee had started reciting. He can complete. No? Okay. Sure. Apisvid vijayācyutābhyāṁ dharmeṇa dharmaḥ paripāti setum duryodhana tapyat yat-sabhāyāṁ samrajya-lakshmya. Word by word translation. Api, as also. Sva-dorbhyāṁ, own arms. Vijaya, Arjun. Achyutābhyāṁ, along with Śrī Kṛṣṇa. Dharmeṇa, on religious principles. Dharmaḥ, King Yudhishthir. Paripāti, maintains. Setum, the respect of religion. Duryodhana, Duryodhana. Atapyat, envied. Yat, whose. Sabhāyāṁ, royal assembly. Samrajya, imperial. Lakshmya, opulence. Vijaya-anuśrutiya, Vijaya-anuvṛttyā, by the service of Arjun. Translation. Kindly repeat. Also, let me inquire whether Maharaj Yudhishthir is now maintaining the kingdom according to religious principles and with respect for the path of religion. Formerly, Duryodhana was burning with envy, because Yudhishthir was being protected by the arms of Krishna and Arjuna, as if they were his own arms. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Maharaj Yudhishthir was the emblem of religion. When he was ruling his kingdom with the help of Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the opulence of his kingdom surpassed all imaginations of the opulence of the kingdom of heaven. His actual arms were Lord Krishna and Arjuna, and thus he surpassed everyone's opulence. Duryodhano, being envious of the opulence, planned so many schemes to put Yudhishthir into difficulty, and at last the battle of Kurukshetra was brought about. After the battle of Kurukshetra, Maharaj Yudhishthir was again able to rule his legitimate kingdom, and he reinstated the principles of honor and respect for religion. That is the beauty of a kingdom ruled by a pious king like Maharaj Yudhishthir. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Aham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasa Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. On behalf of ISKCON Mayapur, I would like to welcome all you devotees, particularly all Prabhupada disciples, and it's a great honor and a little bit of embarrassment as well, speaking in front of likes of His Grace Rameshwar Prabhu and Hriday Chaitanya Prabhu. So before I start, mustering all humility, I request for your blessings, so that, and of course the blessings of Parampara, so that whatever I speak, may that be directly coming from the purports of Srila Prabhupada and nothing else. Srila Prabhupada ki. Okay, Toji, thank you for correcting me. I'll keep that in mind. But still, I seek your blessings. Yes, Prabhu, please. Yes. We all are. All through Canto 3rd, at many places, Srila Prabhupada, he doesn't leave any opportunity to highlight the aspect that Krishna is very eager to give the administration of kingdom to the devotees. You can look at the examples of whether it is Prahlad Maharaj or whether it is Dhruv Maharaj, particularly when the pure devotee is declining the offer again and again, citing the reason that I'm afraid I will fall into Maya if I manage kingdoms like this. And the Lord, it appears that as if He is thrusting it upon them. Now, we would spend the first 15-20 minutes on Krishna's, this eagerness of the Lord to instate his devotees as the kings and at higher designations, and what is the rationale behind that? And then in that context, we will look at this verse once again, where he is once again, showcasing the same lolyam, the same eagerness to ensure that Maharaj Yudhishthir remains the king. So, the way, even in the material world, as they say, the action constitutes 5 elements, and the 5th element is the will of the Lord. So, if you look at kings in today's day and age, it is easy to dismiss them. You may say, he is very atrocious, he is very dictatorial, he is very that. Howsoever bad the world is, as per our estimation, the world is perfect. We are those backbenchers who couldn't pass the exam and go back, and therefore we are here and continuing. Not just that, if you look at the previous yug and the yug prior to that, you will find that everything in terms of age, strength, memory, opulence has been subsequently or decreasing. I mean, if Bhim or Arjun were to look at us today, in their estimation, even in their material estimation, we are these tiny creatures. They were used to living 1,000 years of age, and with a height which is more than 11 feet. And now here we are struggling even for 6 feet, at least in India. Some Russians and some, European devotees definitely have good heights. But point being made is, we cannot recall, I'm referring here the term we as all those who think that they are afflicted with the contamination of Kali. And all of us, in that sense, have shorter memories. But if you compare it with Treta Yuga or Satya Yuga, it is like, it's like a decline where anybody who lived in that era and went back to Krishna would be feeling very sorry for us. That, the decline has taken place to such a great extent. And that is one of the key reasons that the Sankirtan was placed as the Yuga Dharma. We sometimes tend to, because conceptually you can think big, but when it comes to internalization and implementation, we fall way short of. It's like a young, teenager or just an adult like 18 years old. He may think in terms of possibilities, that I can do this, I can do that. Fact of the matter is, the kind of discipline, the kind of rigor, the kind of persistence, innovativeness, innovation, all of those things he needs to succeed. And he can't garner them because the environment is not going to support. So this temptation in us, which is an illusion, that by meditation we can capture Krishna. Forget about capturing Krishna or achieving God realization. You can't even achieve self-realization with this body as the apparatus to achieve, because the decline has been tremendous and it's not possible. So when we say, Yuga Dharma Sankirtan Andolan ki jai, the underlying reason behind that is because someone, in terms of, I'm talking about Lord, he realizes and he knows we are not capable. Namna makari bahuda, nija sarva shakti. Therefore he infused his own potency in the holy name. And despite that, Lord Chaitanya, taking the mood of a devotee, is saying, Durdev idrishamiha janina anurag. Here I don't have to work hard, selecting herbs and pronouncing difficult mantra, nothing. Even the detailed process of worship where I am likely to commit offenses, because not because of intent, but because of carelessness. So once it was ascertained that we are not qualified for any of that anymore, and it's, please understand, when something is said in terms of we are not qualified, it's not a judgment, it's a factual inference. So sometimes when somebody tells us you are not qualified for that, we take it upon on the platform of ego, whereas it is to be actually taken as a factual description that what is left now is almost useless. Kalau doshe nidhi rajan stiha eko mahan guna kirtanadiyeva krishnasya. So doshe nidhi means stock, and doshe nidhi means it's a stock of all dirt, all anarth. The point being made is that knowing fully well the holy names, the congregational chanting of the holy name is the easiest, as it is said in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's the easiest process. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yatha bhaktir adhokshaje. So the Lord, even to karmi people, He gives priority to piety. And piety it's not necessary that piety would always imply elevation in consciousness. Sometimes you may do certain things in mode of goodness, and there would be a concomitant reaction of that. Then majority of time you would be in mode of passion, and then sometime in mode of ignorance during the 24 hours of the day. So what happens is, when you receive the result of that piety which you achieved via mode of goodness, you amass wherever the gaze of your consciousness is. So if the gaze of your consciousness is fixed at money, then due to that good action, you will receive money, you won't receive Krishna Prem. And if it is fixed at fame, then you will receive fame. Now, once you have received one of these opulences, the key question comes into the picture that once you earned it, you duly deserve it. But today, you don't have that level of consciousness by which you can optimally leverage it. So we can't leverage that. That's what happens with most of the rich kids of rich people or rich parents. And the Damodar Mass just went by, and we remember Nal Kuver and Mani Griv. They deserved to be the sons of Kuver because of some erstwhile piety. The message being given here is, when we see somebody rich, when we see someone famous, technically and factually we must know he or she duly deserves it. The second part is, he or she is misusing it and is likely that it may cause trouble to this devotee or this person. That's a separate thing. But what happens is, we estimate a person on this life's capability level, and we disregard that fifth factor that constitutes action, which is the will of the Lord, in terms of assigning the fruit of good and bad deeds. Why I am stressing upon this is because we are so accustomed to look at a person from his current appearance. And this information that, like for example, those of you who stay in this country would know it, and those of you who come from US, I'll give another example. So take an example of Rahul Gandhi. He is informally the heir of the grand old party called Congress. And by the estimation of 1.4 billion people, I can at least say for 1 billion people, he is not qualified. But you can't remove him. We have been seeing him for 2 decades because his piety is not exhausting. And till the time his piety does not exhaust, Krishna doesn't care what you and I think. He will remain there. I have nothing to do with Donald Trump. but he deserved it. And when I use this word, he deserved it, my analysis is not through the apparatus of material eyes. My analysis is through the apparatus of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says, action constitutes 5 elements, and this is one of them. And this is my system. So, sometimes we forget that Krishna is running the show. And then why this, why that, why this, why that, it does not mean you do not intervene when your service gets hurt. That's not the idea. The idea is to understand that if somebody has reached some stage, he or she deserves it. I mean, a waitress in one of the cities of Italy, she never knew she would be the president of the grand old party for 3 decades. And because you have earned it. And Prabhupada mentioned one of the leaders of the same grand old party, that he was considered as, a messiah, a messenger, a great patriot. And then he got reborn as a little puppy in one of the Scandinavian countries. And Prabhupada then further goes on to say that he loved 2 things when he was in the human body. He loved women and he loved softness. So he loved women in the sense he would want to be seated in their laps, and that too not a poor woman. The woman has to be rich. So he got a dog's body, always used to sit in the lap and would roam around in a car. Srila Prabhupada's examples are, and this is like, this clearly, it's so automatic in its nature. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in a letter to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I read that small compilation of letters in our BRC, Bhaktivedanta Research Center. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes that Vimal, Dev Yog can't be avoided. If it is supposed to hit you, it will hit you. And that's a very, very alarming statement. And Prabhupada also confirms the same in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where he says, when Krishna decides to kill, he doesn't even spare devotees. He kills Brahmins also. Now we come back to people who are amassing piety are getting results. That's the kind of system Krishna has, even in material world. Now let's look at some metaphysical things, in terms of metaphysical in the sense from a little over gross body. So Indra or Brahma, for all of them also the same rule applies. You perform so many Ashwamekh Yajna and then you achieve this post. So you amass piety. While you are amassing that piety, you are religious about it. Once you have achieved it, now you want to relax. That's Maya. Always remember, Maya comes as a maid servant. She stays like a friend and she rules like a dictator. It happens in 3 stages. So when she is coming as a maid servant, which means she is cloaked in all humility, nothing would happen. It's just once. And the devotee who anyway wanted to slip, he was just looking for what you call a specious logic. There is a term called specious, S-P-E-C-I-O-U-S. So specious means a logic that appears correct but is actually faulty. So we present it to the external world. See, Prabhu, I had no choice, but I had to do it. And then that devotee also knows that this fellow wanted to have a good time, quote unquote. And he says, yeah, Prabhu, I can understand. Once you slip, then both of you become friend. And she stays with you like a friend, means, I'm yours, don't worry. Nothing would happen, it's okay, continue. But that then sudden slap which she gives, once you become habitual of her, but when she slaps you, you have no mechanism to gather yourself back. Many a times we receive phone call when these karmi people lose their near and dear ones. It happens with all the preachers. He would not chant, but if an accident takes place, he will call you. But what can you do? So you say, okay Prabhu, don't worry. He knows he has to worry because Dev-yoga cannot be avoided. And the path that you were requesting him to take up, he didn't pay heed to it. So people come to us when they can't be treated. On top of it, some of us take that as an opportunity and make sure that in that phase at least of 3 days of mourning, we can make him chant 16 rounds a day. Because a devotee understands that if a person is supposed to live for 100 years, at least those 72 hours, he was partly Krishna conscious. That cannot be removed as an impression from his soul. So that's eternal to him. And that's going to count in next life. Svalpam api asya dharmasya traite mahato bhayat. And since that, what is that traite mahato bhayat? Because now that part of your contamination has gotten eradicated. And that purity is going to stay with you. What happens is we keep getting swayed. So as we get swayed, then we fall down more and more and more and more. That does not mean that the names you have chanted are not working any longer. They are not working in the sense that they are not being called out. So they won't come out. But when Ajamil will be done with all the stuff and he will be afraid of Yamadut and then he will shout, then the holy names, because he has accumulated that piety, it will come to the fore. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says, Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayat. Whichever way we can, we should invest our minds into Krishna. Why whichever? Because too many distractions will take place. But somehow or other, if we can, continuously chant and stay put, everything will be benefiting for us. Prabhupada always said, if you see a spark in somebody, flare it. Fan it to flare up. So that, that person gets that advantage. So the point is, Krishna in his system values piety, which means work performed in the mode of goodness, and according to the gaze of your consciousness, he rewards you. So everywhere, anybody who has received anything, it's a matter of his past piety. But his current level of consciousness will decide good use or bad use. But the Lord is completely assured when he sees that my pure devotee is now not planning, I am going to give him. Why is he so keen? Yat-sabhāyāṁ shrestha. Because when my devotee will rule unlimited subjects of his, they will benefit by his piety, by his greatness. If you look at the whole paradigm of Vedic culture, Varnashram system also, everything is an attempt to elevate consciousness. Not in terms of achieving good piety, etc. Elevating consciousness. So, okay, if you are a Shudra, work under a Vaishya or a Kshatriya or a Brahmin. Serve him. The moment somebody tells us, serve him, we say, But Krishna is tadvidi pranipaten pariprashnen sevaya. He brings in this element of service to people who know more than us. Because the moment you serve someone, he or she gets pleased. Once he or she gets pleased, he shares his consciousness with you. We have to be in a mood to share something that we know. If we are not in that mood, we can't benefit the other person. So the Shudra was told, and this way the Shudra can elevate. And similarly, Vaishya can elevate if he stays under a Kshatriya. And if a Kshatriya continuously observes a Brahmin, Shamo, Damo, Tapas, Shaucham, then he will elevate to that level. Association is making it happen. And since Lord Brahma came, attempt is, okay, unlimited, envious living entities, go to the material world to fulfill your horrible desires. However, to ensure that you don't fall down further, there will always be an ecosystem. If you operate within that, you can achieve both the ends. You can partly enjoy with a regulated lifestyle. At the same time, you can come back also. And it's a very technical, foolproof, robust process. And this is also one of them that the Lord wants Prahlad Maharaj to rule. I mean, for a moment, we saw that Prahlad Maharaj, under severe punishments, continued to preach. I mean, sometimes I really wonder, how is it possible that you are being thrown from the top of a hill and into the ocean and this and that, and still you go to school and you find first opportunity that the teacher is not there, you call the friends and you say, let's chant. Now, if in those adverse circumstances he was preaching, imagine what he would have done when he became a king. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, oh, when that day will come, when the Supreme Court judges, would wear the Vaishnav tilak and Kanthimala. It's not just king. King means in all high-level administrative posts, devotees should be there. Actually, this is a lakshan, symptom of an uttam adhikari. Kindly do not mind if my remark is not applicable to you. Sometimes devotees like to regress. I'm happy with my 16 rounds. I'm happy with my morning program. And at the end of the day, if you jot down your productivity, you have nothing else. Whole day just went by. And the next day also. Why? Because Mayapur made you comfortable. Greenery, peace. It's a kind of an exotic nature. Good, continue. There are two types of devotees. Devotees who are having a good time and devotees who want to go back to Krishna. And we are the judge. When I look at my spiritual master, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, when I look at His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, where is the rest? Because they are expanding, not regressing. And Krishna wants, gopis do not chant all the time. They don't tell Krishna, wait, I'll chant my 16 rounds and come. The service becomes second nature to you and you become so absorbed in your service. That's the kind of level where the Lord desires every devotee to be there. Ahetuki, apratihata, this apratihata, uninterrupted. So that kind of a thing is desirable. When Krishna says that Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvalok maheshwar, sometimes we think, Bhoktaram, why is he enjoying our austerity? No, he's not enjoying your austerity in that sense. He's enjoying the aspect that this austerity is going to purify you, by which you will experience higher level of happiness and real knowledge, which will put an end to your misery. So therefore, he feels good. So he says, Bhoktaram yagya tapasam. It's not that you stay hungry whole day and I will enjoy. He is bringing us to a higher platform. And the most beautiful word in Bhagavad Gita, this is as per one's own limited this thing, is Shanai Shanai. Krishna is not violent. Transformation comes in two ways. It comes via training and it comes via trauma. So Dhruv Maharaj received it via trauma. That when he got insulted and then he was a Kshatriya, so his blood boiled. And it's so amazing to, just imagine, he was a genuine Kshatriya, 6 months and he could capture Krishna. But just imagine the beauty of Brahmin and the Lord being the Lord of Go Brahman Hitaicha. When Lord gave darshan to Prahlad, his Kshatriya bhav, which was to a great extent purified, but there was contamination, even that left him. Just by looking at Krishna, Dhruv became purified. And the moment he became purified, he said, I don't need kingdom, I'm sorry. I need you. That's what transcendence or pure goodness does to us. It just, like, I think His Grace Rameshwar Prabhu can say more about it. We do not know what it must have been like to see Srila Prabhupada face to face and hear from him. And that causes the transformation. Like once His Grace Gargamuni Prabhu was narrating how they returned from Pakistan and how Prabhupada was in complete anxiety, and how when he embraced Gargamuni Prabhu says, I felt as if all the sins of my previous lifetimes just left my body. So when the Lord instead, and here Vidur is confirming this, that Krishna and Arjun became the two arms of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Because Maharaj Yudhishthir was the emblem of religion. An emblem of religion in the sense he never fell down. He was cheated, that's a separate thing. Now, last point, and then I would seek your inputs. Sometimes all of this, like Yudhishthir is addressed as Dharmaraj. So you go to preach and you say, Yudhishthir Maharaj is the emblem of religion. And then Karmi people say, oh yeah, he played dice, lost his wife, and you call him an emblem of religion. And then you said, I don't have, no. Playing friendly dice for the happiness of all others who are sitting there is one thing. The wickedness and cheating aspect by the Duryodhano and team is another thing. But he was true to his word. And then the second wave in India, so far it hasn't come up in that phase, but Matajis who have been, and rightly so, for previous many centuries, males felt entitled to do stupidities. But that has got nothing to do with Vedic culture. Absolutely no. In the name of Vedic culture, if you read prayers in the 7th canto, not prayers, a conversation between Yudhishthir Maharaj and Narad Muni. Narad Muni describes the duties of a wife. And when I narrate the duties of the wife, all the husbands feel puffed up, they kind of... Because it begins with, when he comes home, a wife should decorate herself. She should be in a pleasant mood. When she opens the door, she should smile and invite him in. And then she should offer water to him. And husbands are like, keep going on, Prabhu. But Narad Muni says towards the end, and that's where the answer is, all these duties are for that husband who is not fallen. Apatitam bhavet. So before you ask for a smiling face and a decorated wife and glass of water, you should know apatitam bhavet. So it's very tricky, externally it may look like something else, internally it's something else. So kindly have trust that how when Maharaj Yudhishthir as a devotee became a king, Krishna became his arm. And a warrior like Arjun became his arm. He will be relaxed because he is following the right path. Last point, because I have 2 minutes to go. When you follow the path of religion, you do not work hard. People tend to believe that we need to work hard. No, you need to work hard in following the path of religion, not in amassing the skills. Jananivas Prabhu was talking to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was giving his big plans. This will do, and every time Jananivas Prabhu, I think it was one of the two brothers, so they said, but Prabhupada, money? And then Prabhupada said, and then he will again start. And after a while they'll say, Prabhupada, money? And then Prabhupada said, money, Radha Madhav will give money. So the dependence of Yudhishthir Maharaj is on that process of religion, following the path of religion, not in terms of technical skills. Then you will get an Arjun from somewhere who will help you. And then you will get the Lord himself to protect you always. So what a beautiful way Krishna nourishes us and wants all of us to experience the highest level possible of happiness, eternity and full knowledge. Thank you very much. If you have any question or comment, please feel free. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sometimes I think that if we want to continue our whole life to chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principles, that is, to be able to really continue chanting, we cannot just relax and, let's say, lose focus. Because then one will become distracted, and then, just in order to keep on chanting 16 rounds, I
understand your question.
I think we need to grow in our spiritual life in order to continue to just accomplish that. What do you think about that?
The 2 parts to the answer. Answer A is that when regression hits you, your quality of chanting keeps on getting poor with each passing day, and you still continue a facade of it, and that offensive and careless chanting, you may sustain it for a few decades, and it gives little result. Krishnadas Kaviraj says that millions of lifetimes would pass, but you won't achieve Krishna Prem. Point being made is that when I use the word, if you are satisfied, the very pertinent point that you mentioned is, if you are chanting, how can you not grow? Naturally you would grow, but that's true when you have a willingness to chant attentively. Here I am saying that in the deep aspect, portion of your subconscious mind, you want just to be done with it as a ritual, as a practice. Then you won't achieve growth, and then you will regress subsequently. Other way around is also true. If you are chanting attentive 16 rounds, how can you not develop the desire to serve? You will develop, and therefore you will grow. So both the things work. I am referring to the kind of consciousness when devotees want to regress, because we promote mediocrity, Mataji. This is in fashion these days. Oh, it's okay. You can't live it completely. Live a part of it. There's a book nowadays in the market that's called Atomic Habits. A small good habit. My point is, if you can pick up 200 kgs, why are you fiddling with 2 kgs and saying, at least I'm picking up something? No. You should know your potential and work on that potential. You're fooling. So that's the thing. I'm referring to that fooling. Yeah? I hope I could convey the answer. Yeah. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai.